one thing that always shocks me about the thoughts people have about Our Lady is that so often I will hear people say, Mary isn't really relatable. I mean, she's the mother of God. She was chosen by God. She didn't have any sin. And I always find that fascinating because when I look at the 7 sorrows of Mary, we really do see a woman who has been through so much more than any of us have, and who teaches us a tremendous amount about enduring in the face of suffering, and choosing Christ in the face of suffering, and choosing love in the face of suffering. And I was thinking about this today during Mass, how Satan told God he will not serve. We see this conversation so often about how Satan took a third of the angels from heaven with him. He refused to serve God. There were some things that were really problematic, and part of it had to do with how God was going to elevate humanity by Christ becoming a human person. Jesus Christ, his only Son. And Satan said he would not serve. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the Blessed Virgin Mary, who gave her fiat. Be it done unto me according to thy word. Behold the handmaid of the Lord. You see, Our Lady chooses to serve. She chooses Christ. She doesn't choose the easier, comfortable path. And so when I look at the 7 sorrows of Mary, here they are. 1, the prophecy of Simeon, about a sword piercing her. That her life is going to be very difficult, and she's just here like any other mother is, basically to present her child in the temple like a mother would for the baptism. They're joyful with this child. Imagine the sorrow she must have faced in this prophecy. Then her son is being sought out to be killed, and she has to flee to Egypt with her husband. Third, she loses Jesus in the temple, and for a few days there, her and Joseph are frantically looking for their son. Fourth, the meeting of Jesus and Mary on the way of the cross. Her son is but bloody, bruised, and beaten, and now he's carrying the splintered cross as it is jagged, pushing into his skin. And she watched and she endured. Then she stood at the foot of the cross as her son is crucified. And she chose him. She loved him. She was present to him. She wasn't there weeping and screaming, saying, "Why is me?" That's not the narrative we ever see in the gospel. 6, she's there, and his body is placed in her arms, the Pietà art that we see, the sculpture, where Mary's holding the bloody, dead body of her son. And then 7, the burial of Jesus, that final stamp of her son being put into the tomb. Our Lady endured so much suffering. Yet Our Lady is the source of our joy because she was rooted in Christ, united to him, and unwavering in her choice to be a servant for the Lord and to love him above all else.